want to talk about a big-time match. We've got Mark Angel and Nick Talent, the Academy of Anatomy, going up against Anthony Stone and Kellan Thomas. Destruction under impact. Boris Fear, my most sincere apologies, but I'm going to be talking over your in-ring introductions. Fans watching this, if you don't like that, please check the video description or the annotations laid over this video track, and you can watch a version of this match without my commentary, get the full introductions, see the Academy of Anatomy abusing, I don't know, their partner, their lackey, AJ Everett, somebody who's been without direction for a number of months in Beyond Wrestling, but somewhat of a fitness buff. Looks like he's aligned himself with Mark Angel and Nick Talent. Of course, if Mark Angel can successfully win his match tonight, this will mark 1 year since he made his debut in Beyond Wrestling undefeated for that entire year. Of course, a year ago at this time, it was Nick Talent that was teaming with Anthony Stone, a partnership that they formed at the Developmental Hell taping after Nick Talent had to learn the hard way. It's been very disrespectful, but it seemed like the veteran Anthony Stone finally got through to him, was setting him on the straight and narrow, but Nick Talent has such a temper. And look at this, Talent should be appreciative. I don't know if he would be where he is in professional wrestling if it was not for Anthony Stone's guidance. And at one point, it almost seemed as if Anthony Stone was going to be joining up with Mark Angel and Nick Talent. In fact, they teamed together at the Crises Precipitates Change taping, where they were victorious over the KOA. And Nick Talent, the big head on him, it looks like he's had some of an influence on Mark Angel, because Mark Angel's talking smack to Anthony Stone, and this is something unusual that we normally wouldn't see. And he wants a piece of Kellan Thomas. He says he's already beat Anthony Stone's ass. He wants to knock out his partner. Of course, Kellan Thomas, probably most well known, competing in a tag team up here in New England. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Kellan Thomas training at the Chicago Wrestle Factory. Not a graduate from the school, but I'm sure that knowledge goes a long way and has certainly influenced his style in the ring. Keep your head up, Kellan. So it's going to be interesting to see how he can use that to outsmart Mark Angel, perhaps hand him his first ever defeat here at Beyond Wrestling. Now grabbing that wrist, trying to bring Angel back up to his feet. Angel, a very agile competitor, has dubbed himself the ultimate athlete, and every single person that has stood in front of him so far over the last year in Beyond Wrestling, he has been able to defeat. We've seen him knock off the likes of Josh Thorpe, able to defeat Anthony Stone, the Pit Boss, Jonathan Gresham, even Kyle O'Reilly, AR Fox, the list goes on and on. Mark Angel proven to be one of the very best on the Beyond Wrestling roster. And now he's formed this Academy of Anatomy stable. Right here, one-on-one in the ring with Kellan Thomas, not faring so well. First time encounter, neither one making that crucial first mistake. Still somewhat of a feeling out process. I'll tell you what, there's very few chinks in the armor of Mark Angel, if any. He is fast, he is strong. But he's unable to get out of the way right there. And Kellan Thomas swinging into the ring, 2 boots to the mush, and just sending his body, colliding into Mark Angel, taking him down with that drop kick. And Angel is out of sorts in the corner. A great display from Kellan Thomas. I'm just going to wonder if Nick Talent perhaps got in Mark Angel's head and said, you know what, I'm the best partner that Anthony Stone's ever had. I'm going to wonder if perhaps Mark Angel is taking Kellan Thomas lightly. Now Kellan looking for a bow and arrow submission. He is not the legal man. And Anthony Stone coming off the top rope with that double stomp and knocking Nick Talent off the apron for good measure. I'm sure that feels good. Talent has been running his mouth. We've seen the blogs at LukeMondoFans.com. Anthony Stone letting his fighting do the talking for him. Look at that monkey flip just got sent crashing down to the mat. And Mark Angel tagging in his fresh partner. Now the Academy of Anatomy. Some double team offense in mind. Anthony Stone just leapfrogging both of them and sending both members of the Academy of Anatomy down to the mat with that double drop kick. It looks like Anthony Stone is going to be looking to teach these two a lesson once again the hard way. They don't want to listen to him. And I certainly think this is one of those situations where perhaps everything that Nick Talent knows was taught to him by Anthony Stone. But that doesn't mean that Anthony Stone taught Nick Talent everything that he knew. Look at that trip. Oh, a stomp right to the back of the head. Anthony Stone not messing around right here. And just lighting up the chest of Nick Talent. Now he's going to let Kellan Thomas get his licks in too. Oh no, looking for some more signature offense. And Nick Talent unable to get out of the way of the cannonball. And that diving forearm from Stone. And a standing shooting star press for good measure. Crowd here in Bridgewater, Massachusetts really starting to get behind Destruction Under Impact. But Kellan Thomas made him a rare mistake right there, allowing the Academy of Anatomy to make that blind tag. Oh, and now just dropping that uncovered knee right to the back of the head. And Nick Talent retaliating by knocking Anthony Stone off the apron. Finally, the referee has decided that this is going to be the time to try and call some order. Kellan Thomas getting sent to the floor, and AJ Evers, you saw the official checking to see what was going on. Mark Angel quickly grabbing it by the shirt, insisting that Anthony Stone is going to once again interject himself. Nick Talent not even prepared to be tagged into the match. I mean, don't get me wrong. Mark Angel is an excellent wrestler. But I think that he lacks the experience that Nick Talent needs in order to learn. I think that Nick Talent thinks that by aligning himself with the best, he is also going to become the best. Then again, with moves like that, it's kind of hard to argue against it. Oh! Mark Angel calling Anthony Stone a nerd before jumping that moonsault. This is really a different side than we're used to seeing out of Mark Angel. I've got to say, I'm a little bit bewildered. Now Angel chopping away at the chest of Kellan Thomas. And Kellan responded with one of his own. Once again, chop finds the mark. This time, Mark Angel tagging out, leaving it up to Nick Talent to keep his undefeated streak alive. Talent comes charging it right to that boot. And the Academy of Anatomy, I don't think that these guys are on the same page. Anthony Stone playing the role of the cheerleader on the outside, trying to get the fans behind Kellan Thomas, help him find that second win. He's going to the wrong corner. Kellan finally getting his bearings, but is he going to be able to make it across the ring? Finally making the tag to Anthony Stone. And it was Mark Angel who didn't want any part of Anthony Stone at the start of the contest. Anthony Stone taking it to both members of the Academy of Anatomy, trying to go for that swinging DDT. Mark Angel putting on the brakes. Anthony Stone this time using the added momentum with the kick to the face of Nick Talent and spiking him with that tornado-style DDT. Anthony Stone's gonna beat. Saw Nick Talent at the top of the screen, kicking Anthony Stone off of Mark Angel, and the undefeated streak remains alive. This match ain't over yet, though. Anthony Stone, something else in mind. Flipping Nick Talent over, but Nick Talent able to find a counter. Oh, for crying out loud! Just spiking Anthony Stone right on the top of his head. Tell you what, showing absolutely no respect for the person that took him under his wing. 1, 2. Kellan's in there to break it up. There we see Kellan bringing Anthony Stone over the corner, making that legal tag. Mark Angel turning around into the boot. Calling for that backiotomy. Not sure what that was going to be. Not sure if we're going to have the opportunity to find out either. Oh! Now that double backdrop into the ace crusher. Kellan, unbelievably, is on it too. He got dumped at a nasty angle.
What do we have to do?
You hear Nick Kellan asking Archangel, what do we have to do? And, I think the answer's simple, you guys. You gotta beat him. Kellan Thomas putting on the brakes. Archangel comes charging in, sent to the floor. The Soulbot finding the mark in the solar plexus. Now going for that bacchiotomy, and he's able to nail it. Kellan Thomas rolling to Kellan over. Archangel's on the floor. I don't even think Archangel realized what was going on. You saw AJ Everett trying to tell him to interject himself. Imagine that if Archangel's undefeated streak came to an end here tonight and he wasn't even the one involved in the decision. Archangel trying to get Nick Kellan back in this one. And we see Kellan Thomas calling for the Contra Code. Anthony Stone telling him to stay focused. Nick Kellan retreating on the floor. Archangel really trying to dictate the pace of this match this late in the bout. Finally tagging himself in and just popping Kellan Thomas up into the ledge with that spine buster, but Kellan had already tagged out to Anthony Stone. The Academy of Anatomy's plan has backfired, and believe it or not, after an entire year, Archangel has finally suffered his first defeat here at Beyond Wrestling at the hands of Anthony Stone and Kellan Thomas. And you gotta believe that if Nick Kellan wasn't so smug and didn't have his head so far up his own ass, they could have been teaming with this guy, learning from him instead of losing to him. Even with an added member, the Academy of Anatomy could not get it done against DUI. And Anthony Stone has been practically unstoppable the last few months. We saw him defeat the #1 ranked Johnny Cockstrong, pulling up the victory for his team against the KOA, and now knocking off the undefeated Mark Angel. Or I should say, the formerly undefeated Mark Angel.